Hey y'all, come on in. How y'all doing today? I gotta wash these potatoes real quick. Get ready to cook. How y'all doing today? Get this stuff going real quick, y'all. Give y'all time to come in. I won't be before you too long. I won't open me up. I'll be over on TikTok. Hey y'all, how y'all been doing? I'm gonna wash these potatoes so I can get ready to prep to get ready to cook. It's gonna rain. Give y'all time to get in here. How y'all doing? Anybody from Mississippi today? It's hot. Hey y'all, hey, come on in. I'm gonna get ready to prep and talk to y'all for a brief moment. Get these potatoes washed. Hey, how y'all doing? No, you're not late. I'm just coming on. You're not late at all. I'm just getting here myself, Donnie. Good. Oh, good. Can't get right today. Body didn't want to let go of the bed today, and it's gonna start raining, and I'm dragging. Ooh, hey, I got so much going on. I gotta sing at my cousin's funeral Friday. Me, son, and Kelby. That's not gonna be no easy homegoing. He was on, the pressure part was just 30. Trying to get some food going. I made it, Willie. I couldn't, it wouldn't let me go. It wouldn't let me go, Willie. I tried my best. It just wouldn't let me go. I guess my best just wasn't good enough. Lord knows. This weather got me going, y'all. I ain't hitting on nothing. I'm going to do my best to talk to y'all. I'm kind of emotional, too. It's been a very emotional study today. Honest, I'm in Mississippi. And I sure wish I had a crowd today. I just sure wish I had a crowd. It makes sense now. A lot of stuff is starting to talk. You know how I believe that the earth just is opening up her mouth and ready to start spilling people's testaments. I don't care how you look at it. Sometimes we can be so oppressed so long, we don't even realize that we are oppressed. because we so used to living the way people have us living. Not the way God got us, but what we have learned to settle with. I'm going to have my discussion before I go on the other side of the tracks. But baby, I need some people from Mississippi here. I need y'all to shout me out. I do. I remember one time before, I was talking about Mississippi, and some people got mad at me on here. They didn't even listen to what I was saying. When you've been oppressed so long, if somebody try to tell you it's a way of escape, you don't have to be that way, honey, they got mad at me. Oh, you putting down Mississippi. No, I wasn't. I was talking about what the governor wasn't doing and had the nerve to be the poorest state in the United States, but it is a Republican state. A Republican state that poor. A Republican state. Yeah, I can go buy land right now in Mississippi. And I would grab it because it's so cheap. Yeah, you can still live cheap in Mississippi. But why? But why? What's the real reason why? What's really going on? There are some states, we know, are more affordable living than others. I mean, I don't understand how people are surviving off of $7 an hour. I don't even know how they can survive off of $15 in the state of Georgia minimum wage. Cost of living is cost of living, and it's going up. But I'm finna talk to y'all about some things. You might know, you may not know, right? I'm just finding it out my own self, some things, as I keep digging into Mississippi. I do know they got a Haitian influence. Yeah, Haitian influence is going to run all through the Gulf. So it's going to run over there in Mississippi. It's going to run in Louisiana. And it's going to run in Florida. It's just going to run, the lower parts of Mississippi, like Hattiesburg, southern parts, right? Because of the revolt, But it's more to that. Because every state has a spirit that hovers over it. It has its own God. And inside of that, we cater to certain spirits. So we got strongholds. The state is your stronghold. And your city is the spirits that reside in there. Right? So there's a stronghold of poverty over the whole entire state of Mississippi. However, certain cities are worse than others, like Jackson, like Greenwood. Certain cities are worse than others. Well, I'm finna get started. I got to get my other phone. I sent some notes over there. I'm going to be telling you some true stories. And baby, it's so many. I had to pick which ones. Oh, you so welcome. Thank you for your support, Mama Love. I appreciate that so very much. I tried my best to pack y'all boxes to the best of my ability. I got a few announcements. Listen, when I tell you I'm done, don't send me your money. Because now I ain't even feeling that hot. I don't like to have people's money. And now you waiting on your box. You should have waited till I came back on Monday to see if I was ready to deal with more sweets. But we still got that mentality to jump ahead of each other. Scared you gonna miss out. Scared your name ain't gonna be called. And y'all send money like y'all can run everybody with your wallet. But what I'm gonna have to do, if I don't feel no better to get it out, if the storm come and you can't wait, I'm gonna have to send you your money back. Because I tell y'all, I like to handle my business a certain way. And I like to get it on out the way. Another thing, if you get an order, be patient. If it's something that went wrong and I gotta fix it, I'm gonna fix it. Just be patient. Right? Some people wouldn't care. So, I'm gonna talk about that too. I'm giving enough people to come in here. We on Mississippi's back today. Am I a crooked letter? It sure is. Crooked letter, it sure is. Crooked letter I. Humpback, it sure is. Humpback, it sure is. I. My. And have the audacity to be a red state. And the red is running them in the ground. You know why? Do y'all know why the state of Mississippi is so poor? Do anybody know why the state has a stronghold of poverty? Come on in here. We finna do class. So don't ask me about nothing right now but the notes that we finna talk about. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. As I peel these potatoes and get ready, do anybody know why Mississippi has a stronghold of poverty over its head? Do I got anybody that's not afraid to say you from that great state of Mississippi? Please share me out because I'm shadow banned. Shadow banned is where it's not going to look like I'm live. They're going to hold back. They're not going to give you your notifications. And the only way I'm going to get pressed out is if y'all press me out. All right? I don't like wasting time. Time is money, y'all. And it's valuable. You don't want to waste your time. Always keep you some water when you're doing potatoes. Now, Alabama, we ain't talking about Alabama. It's good you from Alabama. They ain't no better. Alabama got their own story. Certain part of Alabama, we know about you all. Y'all got that Nazi blood over there in Huntsville. But we ain't talking about y'all. Y'all deal with y'all own stuff too. Y'all back of the woods chewing tobacco towns. So I know a lot about them. I mean, I'm from Georgia. Come on. I'm from Georgia. Y'all ready for me to get started? Since I ain't got nobody from Mississippi, I don't got nobody to get mad at me. Ain't that a wonderful thing? Look at God. Now keep in mind, everybody in Mississippi ain't poor. But the state is the poorest state. There are different sides of the railroad track, but the story don't change. We only talking about Mississippi. Don't worry about y'all. Don't have to putting y'all name. I'm gonna tell y'all why they poor. And they got a poverty state of mind. The people want to be free, but that's all they know. And they'll get mad at you when you talk about Mississippi. Oh, they'll get mad at you. Why y'all worry about us Mississippians? We don't care. We don't want no traffic like Atlanta. We don't need all of that. And it ain't cheap here. And people make $20 an hour here. And they ba-da-da-boo-da-ba-da-da-da-da. And boo-da-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. And we the birthplace of the blues. And we can cook and we can be quiet. Because everything we finna go through, I'm finna tell you what these Mexicans is going through. All you gotta go is to one state. You can come here, but we didn't have it like Mississippi. There's only one state out of all the states. One. That did not abolish slavery until February of 2013. The state of Mississippi still had slavery until 2013. Baby, that's a state of poverty. God ain't pleased with what they did to them black people there. He ain't pleased about our own government, our own National Guard, doing the exact same thing that they doing to the Mexicans. They did it in Natchez, Mississippi. When the people were free to go. And they made like they gave them a piece of land they dug out. Put them in that hole. They were hungry. Then wouldn't let them leave. Starved them to death. Killed them and buried them right in that spot. We talking about Mississippi now. We talking about Mississippi. The poorest state in the United States of America. Because they got a spirit of poverty for how they were treated. And our own people, again, it was just a consecration camp called the Devil's Punch Bowl. And wild peaches grow there from the fertilizer of our bodies. Which, by the way, in your state now, you can ask. They ask you the question, do you want to be buried, cremated, or compost? Well, they compost. Surrounded by Mississippi River, the Gulf. No food. Tried to make up a lie and say that the lake and stuff was poisoning them. It wasn't. They couldn't get to it. They would literally have to jump off a cliff. You can't get to it today. They say that it's full of snakes and alligators, and they don't care how pretty those peaches is. The folks there won't eat it. I don't blame them. But that ain't even all of it. We done heard the story about the lady who was born in 1960 something, and they were slaves. Y'all done seen that movie, Alice? They changed her name, and they were still holding them in 1962 and 65. She died in 2014. We talking about the way these people, John Ossoff just destroyed the Republicans when he spoke. He said, we are not a race. We are people who have put that mindset behind. He said, if you let them come back in, he said, if you let any of them come back in, you're going to be raising your hand and you're going to be swearing. You're welcome. You don't need proof. There is proof, Donna. I don't know why you're saying there ain't proof. It's in the history. I don't live there. How you know I know? What you mean? There's newspaper articles. The first people that ever migrated and lived in Mississippi was Indians, Negro Indians. I'm going to show you the newspaper article. Because they called them black Negro Indians. The word Mississippi is an Indian name. It means many waters. I don't know what you mean it ain't no evidence. It is evidence out there. Evidence, that's what they're trying to destroy, our history. Georgia don't have nothing to do with this. Georgia's messed up all by itself. When I get to Georgia, I get to Georgia. We ain't talking about Georgia peaches. We talking about peaches that's growing underneath dead people. Over 20,000 people that ran for their lives and settled in Natchez were murdered. I ain't even done. Now listen, I want y'all to understand, this is after slavery was demolished. Mississippi, let me get my picture together. Mississippi did not want to accept it, so they rejected it. Let me show you right here. Hold on, let me find it for you. The first settlers, early settlers of Mississippi, were Negroes. You know I was going to do my homework. I knew some people was going to come for me. Negroes built that town and got ran out of that town. So let me turn it around for you. Hold on 1 second. Let me get myself set up. Maybe more of y'all come on in here. Here's from one of their newspaper articles. Negroes were the early settlers of the state of Mississippi. She said it ain't no proof. Yes, it is. If you go ahead and read, it called them Negro Indian tribes. If you go ahead and read, it tells you the New World from 1539, 1540. All right, it go ahead and explain to you when we came on the scene that we were the first settlers of Mississippi. All right, it's proof. It's proof. Let me tell you something. There is a town. It was a little county in Mississippi. And the name of it was called Yazoo, like Yahoo, Yazoo, Yazoo, Mississippi. It was the deadliest county in Mississippi you could live in. From an era of after slavery now. So from an era around the late 1800s up until, I think it was 1890 to 1932. 3 years before my daddy was born. In Yazoo County, Mississippi, over 40 documented lynchings took place after slavery ended because the white landowners wanted us to continue to work for free, meaning the black people. And when they asked for money or fair pay, they unalived them. They put it in newspaper articles that they had touched or spoke to a white woman. And so therefore they were lynching them, putting fear. This is the only county I know in Mississippi where everybody in Mississippi left this county, took what was on their back, and ran for their lives to be free. Mississippi denied. Mississippi denied. Here it is right here. Let me open it up. They denied freeing their slaves December 5th, 1865. Then, March 16th, 1995, they certified it and they admitted that they did not file for their people to be free after the Civil War. And in February 7th, 2013, after they rejected us from being free, they finally signed to abolish slavery 13 years ago. History repeats itself. They don't know nothing. The devil don't know nothing new under the sun. They doing the same thing to different races. They know we will not be slaves no more. So what did they do to them black people that were free? They turned them into indentured servants. They told them, you owe us for these slaves. We're not freeing them. So we're going to reject the fact that you all are abolishing slavery because this is our cattle. Y'all not paying us. So Mississippi didn't get no money. So Mississippi, just 13 years ago, signed the document. Y'all are always slaves down there. I don't care whether you like it or not. It's your paperwork. They still had that hanging over your heads down there. I'm here to tell you. I understand you where you can't help where you were born. You can't help where you were born. And it's beautiful land down there. They took it. It was a beautiful land. Indian mounds everywhere. It's evidence we were there. No doubt. Amazing cooks. But they dummied them down. They didn't want them to educate. They would hang them if they read. So they got behind. If you go look at the test scores in Mississippi versus test scores in any other states, especially down in the Delta, they so delayed. They so behind our kids. You would think all of them was in sped. And it's beautiful. Beautiful places there. The antebellum, honey, of the South is Natchez, where the Punch Bowl is. Where all the 20,000 slaves were put in a concentration camp. Just like they doing the Mexicans. And they didn't have adequate food and nothing to drink. And they died. And if they tried to escape, our own government shot them in the back. Not everyone. Yes, everyone. I said what I said, cooking with Dre. Everyone. This is the history. I pulled your history. It's a fact. February 7th, 2013 is when they signed the document. Look it up for yourself. Yes, everyone. Oh, you talking about education? Baby, not every part. You didn't hear what I said. I said down in the Delta. I didn't say, your test scores are not like Atlanta test scores. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt. I've looked it up. But I know I'm telling the truth. I even have people that I know for certain. I know. You know how I know? My baby. She come from down in the Delta. Her mama come from down in the Delta. And if you go watch that documentary that I put up one time about that little black lady in 2010, still going over there getting water, and all of them living in them FEMA trailers. Let's keep going. Because I feel like this. It ain't the people's fault that folks are so dirty. It's not the people's fault that you didn't want to sign for these black people to end slavery until 2013. It's sad when you look at that movie. Alice, it's true. She lived on the line between Mississippi and Louisiana. It's true. It's heartbreaking because there is nothing wrong with Mississippi other than who's leading Mississippi. There's nothing wrong with it, but the people that's govern Mississippi is not for the Mississippians. It's sad that half of the land that people are thriving and living on belong to the black people. It's sad that you still got a governor don't want to fix roads. It's sad that people are not doing that well. And that the cost of living might be low. But I don't want a cost of living low because y'all won't help us. Hey, give me $600 a month mortgage. But I don't want it because you won't help us. That's wrong. That ain't why we want it. We don't want that ain't nobody moving there because you won't put nothing in your state to draw people. I was doing research. Do y'all know this governor has been offered several companies to come? The way your county, the way your state grows is when big plants want to come now and work. But if your governor don't want to work with them and propose things to get stuff into your state, it's beautiful. Oh my God, I was looking at some of the different sides of Mississippi, different counties and different, just like Atlanta, you know. I was looking at all of it because I didn't want to be biased, you know, because everybody love where they from, right? And I could live in Mississippi, I ain't gonna lie, but I would have to have my own stuff because I couldn't live that way. But to know that you oppress these people, and you can be oppressed so long that you don't realize it, but you oppress these people. You took from these people. You took their inheritance. You unalived them. And to know that it's a hole in Natchez on a dirt road, over 20,000 slaves is in that hole. Baby, you can't get me to feel no kind of way about this government. I don't care who lives there. I don't care what you think about me. Those are my people. And to treat them that way. But it's not everywhere. Cooking with Dre. Some people have to drive an hour to 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours to get a small amount of pay. And I wasn't going to come on here. Because when you live a certain way, people going to defend you. I don't defend. Let me tell you something. I will not defend Georgia. Georgia is the ESD. Georgia ain't hitting on nothing. I'm here. I was born here. This is all I know. It ain't hitting on nothing. And the cost of living, they pushing people into poverty here. I'm not dogging nobody else to stay. I'm from the South. I'm from the dirty South. I'm from the antebellum South. I know what time it is. You live in Georgia. You live in Mississippi. You live in Tennessee. You live in Florida. You live in South Carolina. You live in Alabama. We understand it. What we going to get mad for the truth? We understand the assignment. You can be so oppressed that you don't even realize you've been oppressed that long. There's nothing wrong with telling the truth. That's not being dogmatic. I didn't even know. I told Willie, oh my God. I didn't know. I don't know how I didn't know they didn't sign it. But it was by happenstance. It was another professor talking concerning this and started looking up Mississippi and stumbled that they never signed to abolish slavery. They acknowledged it in 1995 when Kelby was 3, but just 13 years ago. And they know what they're doing because some of those people need those FEMAs. They need those FEMA trailers. They can't afford it. Baby, let me tell you something. You can't stop everywhere in the state of Georgia. And especially between Georgia and Alabama, we ain't hitting on nothing. Them sundown times. Let me go on and tell y'all a true story. I had a friend I went to school with named Carl. He was a truck driver. They found him hanging between Georgia and South Carolina in the woods from a tree. His 18-wheeler was there. He wasn't depressed. What happened to Carl? They ruled it as a suicide. Family didn't know he was suicidal. Wasn't nobody there. I can't dog. I'm not here to dog Mississippi, but I am telling the truth. I am telling you those children were learning much and had very low test scores. I even went and seen an old documentary where the principal was, they got amazing teachers. You know, that's just like some teachers here. They don't get the credit. They don't get the credit. That's why a lot of our black school teachers, they're moving to Mexico and China to teach because they don't get the credit. And they won't hire them, and they don't get the equal pay. See, this is my thing. If I could stay in Mississippi and talk about them, but the people get offended there easy. And I see why. But even in Atlanta, I told y'all, yes, they stole the race from Stacey Abrams. Your president came down here when he was 45 and stole it. Baby, I can tell you some stories. I can tell you about my cousin Dean. And the man walked around till he died. All they had to do was come up with a bogus. They said he looked at a white woman and whistled. And they shot the car up. Right in front of Miss Marcy's grocery store. So I'm not dogging Mississippi. But I'm telling you, every state has a stronghold. In every city. Because there's some parts of Mississippi that's doing better than other parts of Mississippi. You got it. Oh, I'm glad, sissy. I love you, Jeanette. So, this is not to be dogmatic. This is to bring awareness that we haven't overcome. This is also to let you know. I don't know who this is. I called you earlier and realized you were live. I don't know how you got my number. I don't recall giving no Dre my number. And I know I didn't give it to my Dre. I don't know who Cooking with Dre is. Cooking with Dre. I don't know who your name is. And the thing about it is that this stuff right here, they didn't teach us in school. And this is why they're trying so hard not for us not to learn our history. This ain't got nothing to do with dogging them out. I'm glad they test scores went up. Willie, do you know who Cooking with Dre is? Arvis Laundry. I didn't give you my number, Audrey. How did you call me? I ain't had no missed call. I don't know who it is. You might have thought you called me, but you didn't. You might have looked up an old number. But you didn't call me. Because my number is not public. I do have a number that's public, but it's no longer in service. I don't know why they keep saying it is. Oh, you were the one. Okay, I wonder why people keep saying it, Jimette, because it said Cooking with Dre said it. But anyway, that's why they trying so best to stop us from learning our history. They don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to know that they just signed the document 13 years ago to abolish slavery. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know they keep those people oppressed in poverty and low income because they didn't want them to thrive from the beginning. They ran for their lives. Smart, educated people. But they had to leave them. And their children had to leave there to become successful. I mean really successful. I'm not talking about adapting to your environment. I remember when I was growing up, I wanted to leave Georgia so bad. My mama wouldn't let me leave. She talked me out of it. You can be oppressed so long. Some of these people and the things that have happened to them, like the bombing of those little girls that happened in Birmingham, my mama remember that. My mama 84. Anybody from the ages of my mama to 90, 96, one of them is still alive. Not the girl, but that was a part of that. The girl that they put in jail, the little 9-year-old girl that they put in jail that time. You welcome, Jim, man. I told you the boxes are full. Let me tell y'all something. It break my heart. And it ain't to dog nobody out. You are used to what you used to. You live where you live. But they have oppressed so long. I remember, this is how bad Jackson is, which is the capital. But when Deion Sanders came now, I watched his show. He had to bring water in order for them to have that big football game. Because you got Jack Safe, you got all of them. You got all of them that run together, little small ones. Mississippi, the big one. He had to bring water. He paid for the water so that they could have. They didn't even, their water system wasn't even big enough. Potholes, roots and trees growing up out the street, and this is the capital. What is your governor doing with the money? What is your governor doing? Jackson is your number one. That's worse than all the other ones, honey. Did you get yours, Mama Norma? What in the heck? Most of the time, they want to keep the state, the capital, looking worth something. Well, they don't dare. They don't keep it looking worth nothing. Their governor don't care. And you're going to keep getting a Republican governor. And it's a Republican state. And they don't put no money in it. Some of those towns that they done let become towns ain't nothing there, y'all. You can look and the chevrons are closed, and they may have a subway. Mississippi didn't ratify 13th Amendment until we already said that. We already said it. Yeah, we already know. We already said it. And it was by accident that they found out. You already know, we just talked about it. They did not abolish it. February 7th. As a matter of fact, 2013. That's the date. And you want to know why some people... You want to know why some people right now can't keep their head above water? You want to know why? Because you did God's people wrong. You cursed with a curse. Mississippi cursed with a curse. Like they said on Color Purple, till you do right by me. Everything you touch gonna fail. Give them people they land. Thank you. I'm not an evangelist. I just spoke because I teach. So I'm a teacher. I can hoop and holler, but I don't hoop and holler. I just teach like I teach in my Bible study. When called upon, I minister in song. Amen. That's why you got to know your placement in the house of God. That's why I didn't get in the pulpit. That's why I stayed below. And that's why I did what I did from the ground. Yep. I was offered to come up there, but I told them I'm going to stay right here. Because when I grew up, you weren't going in that pulpit. Yeah, that was a lie. It wasn't misplaced. If it was misplaced, then since 1995, if it was misplaced, then why did all those people have to run from Yazoo County for their lives? Because you want to turn them into indentured servants. See, here's the thing with us. Black history hurts already. The moral of what I was going to talk to you all about was the simple fact they have been oppressing us forever. And they doing the same trick with the Hispanics that they did when it come to the punch bowl. Let me tell you something, Cooking with D. I'm going to make this clear with you. And this is no disrespect. You're able to stay on here cooking with Dre. But what we're not going to do is stay focused on what you feel like you got to point up. If you number 16th, get to number 2. But the moral of my story is it's a sad day that these kids could be even greater than what they were. It's a sad day that you are fighting over some test scores that you know you can't walk down Atlanta's kids, and especially the inner city. And you want to keep going back and forth. You number 16. What's next? Are you going to change your history? No. You just want to keep on talking. Y'all, give it up for them. They came up on their test scores. They number 16. They 16. Give it up to them. Because what we ain't going to do is overlook everything else we talking about. We're not. We're not. Too much blood been shed. Too much going on. The same thing is happening again. But with a different race of people. They're building concentration camps everywhere. They even got some right now in Social Circle here, but they won't let them turn on the utilities because they won't write out what they're going to use the building for. So they can't get the water or the lights on in Georgia. The only thing that makes Georgia stand up a little bit is because of the civil rights movement. And you still got descendants and people like that will stand up. And they're going to be mad because we turned blue once. And if we turn blue again, they're going to have a hissy fit. It's not to put nobody down. It's to tell you what people have done. See, this young man keeps thinking. That's why I say you can't talk to people in Mississippi. You can be oppressed so long, he just can't get past nothing else. He can't get past nothing else. And if he was an educator, he's still delayed on how they teach around here. He can't get past the truth. He just, we number 16. You got old data. You got old data. We done come up. Your schools ain't even up to par like ours is. Not just where you live. We said the state of Mississippi. Just like the state of Georgia. Just like certain areas that they want to show. Just like in the state of Georgia, if you live near a trailer park, they're going to look at you as a low-income school and try to push everybody on free lunch. And to get different type of government programs. There is nothing new under the sun. And when I was reading the history again, when I was reading the history of Mississippi, it saddened me. Because all I could think is, where's the children that's in these concentration camps right now? Our government is doing the same thing they did in Natchez at the Punch Bowl. Why are they wanting to open up facilities that have lead paint in them? Why they want to open up Rikers Island? Why they want to cage us when we are humans? A human race. Bump the color. Why not do like you did the Japanese people and the Chinese people that was here illegally? You sent them back home on a plane. Look how much money it's costing us to house these people. Some women are miscarrying. You're not giving them the proper treatment for them to go and see about themselves. They're not getting the right food. Some of the water is no good, and you know it. You're even looking at a site in Louisiana where they've indicated that the water there is no good. Yes, they do, Jacqueline. That's why I say I'm not going to put him on 15-minute break, because I don't care nothing no more about them test scores, because I know what I'm talking about. Well, you got to check the new data. Bump the new data. We can't figure out the old data. We trying to understand how they lose something so important as abolishing slavery. We trying to understand, can we find any of the descendants of anybody that's buried down there in that Punch Bowl? We trying to understand. I did not say nothing was wrong with me being in the pulpit, Miss Smith. I said I chose not to. And we ain't focusing on that. Find something else to start with. Start with your truth. Quit trying to make mountains out of molehills. Nobody in that church told me I couldn't get in no pulpit. I just set my butt down there because that's how we do things. That's how I grew up. And my place is in praise and worship. You got to know your place and your placement. That's what make me mad when everybody grab a microphone and they ain't been appointed or anointed to sing. And go on and say, but the Bible say, make a joyful noise. Yes. But leave the praise team alone. If you know you can't hit a note, let them people do what they got to do instead of you grabbing that microphone every minute. Just like they tell you, don't preach before the preacher and don't preach after them. That ain't scripture. It's common decency. It's order. Just like the Garden of Eden. Y'all act like Adam and Eve was the only people here. It was a place to see if you can handle your own moral values. He had his will and he gave you a will. He gave you the mind to make decisions and choices. And you went against the one that you were supposed to trust. Ain't that what happens all the time? People that's supposed to be your friends is the backbiters. Your family is the one that turns you in and tell all your business. The one you sold the pharmaceuticals with is the one became a narc and told the police everything. Ain't that how it go? I need to open up something and then I gotta keep moving, y'all, because it's time for us to eat. And I ain't done nothing. Hold on one second. Let me put my water on here. I might say to open it till tomorrow so we can cook. Let me water this all the way up to the green. You gotta go and look. See, I don't want to hear nothing about your current situation. Because look how long it took for them to get their test scores up. Shouldn't have took that long. Ain't nothing wrong with those babies. I tell you what is wrong with them babies. They were oppressed. Wasn't nothing wrong with their mamas. Everybody down in the Delta wasn't slow. But it looked like it with them test scores. It looked like it. Looked like everybody was struggling. And then when they did documentaries, we know everybody ain't living in no plantation houses, slave quarters. But if you go and you watch a documentary. If you go and do your research, they're going to show you all that. That's going to stick. That's going to stand out more than anything. I'm just keeping it 100. I don't know. I don't know why we feel so offended. And that's why I tell y'all all the time, it's hard to teach people on him. Because everybody, all of a sudden, justify oppression. I ain't going to justify it. To me, it ain't no justification in it. I'm finna make homemade chili. But I'm finna season my ground beef patties. We're going to have these tonight. We having fried potatoes and onions. I'm not. Because I feel like so many times you still had people in cotton fields. And a lot of people got mad. I watched a lot of documentaries. Let me tell you something. A lot of people got mad when them cotton fields shut down. That was their only livelihood. They brought a Fred's. Then the Fred's went out of business. They had a gas station. They got Subways. Eat fresh. But every time you turn around, they didn't want to put nothing in the store. They didn't want to put no Walmart. They didn't want to put the things that the people that could thrive. And then you go across the way on the other side, and you can see where the money is in the old Alabama. How you say that? The old antebellum. And then it was a black lady. She went there to deliver a cake here recently, like last week. And she went into a restaurant in Natchez. And the white woman didn't want to seat her. The restaurant was full of white people. And it was empty seats in there. And she told her a crazy wait time. And she was like, okay, so we don't mind. Well, yeah, it's going to be this long. It's going to be. And so the black lady said it was clear. She didn't want to serve us. So her and her husband, they left. Let me tell y'all something. Don't nobody got to keep beating it over your head. The truth is the truth. We ain't overcome if they just get abolishing slavery in 2013. They lost the document. Yeah, okay. Okay. But you got 3 dates there. You also got March of 1995. Okay, but you still got people talking about they are not making that much an hour down there. So what part of Mississippi got the Nissan plant? What part of Mississippi is doing good? It ain't Jackson. It ain't the state. There ain't nothing wrong with living there. It's beautiful. It's just that, just like Atlanta. Let's talk about Atlanta just for a little bit. The MARTA station, where everything go down. Underground Atlanta, a whole nother city. Atlanta's so dirty. Honey, Atlanta don't want no black governor. I mean, don't think for one moment. I don't talk about our own. See, this is what they do to black Atlanta when it comes to them test scores. That's what they do. They say the teachers have changed the test scores. We can only do so good in Atlanta. Then it'll be, oh, y'all were falsifying documents. Well, let me tell you what else they do in Georgia. Old Georgia. Old Georgia. Let me tell you what else they do. These going to be big hamburgers. Okay, these going to be big. Let me tell you what else they do in Georgia. Because, see, there's some parts of Mississippi, if you go look at it right now, the people can't lie. If you go look at it, that's just how they live. They ain't dogging Mississippi out at all. This is how they live. It's just how they live. They infested all of our projects. They brought drugs through there. Every major city, they did that. And then they knew what to do. You know what they did next? They tore down our housing. Our government housing. They tore it down. It's sad. There are smart children everywhere. But you can oppress the parent. And then some young man, I was watching a documentary with down in the Delta. He wanted to get out of there. But he listened to his grandmama. And she kept saying, he gonna be a policeman. He gonna be a policeman. And she had all her grandkids. And she gonna be a nurse. The girl was crying. She wanted to be a nurse so bad. Then she said, I had to send her back over there to help her mama. Now the mama already done had babies. She pregnant again. Got sent for her daughter. Somebody, they keep their check. And the mama take care of them. I'm like, let this baby become a nurse. She can come back and help y'all. But all they could do is live in the moment. Even the man doing the documentary said, why don't you let her be a doctor? Why don't you let her be a nurse? No, we need her here. She gonna go to trade school, vocational. Let her become what she wants to become. You didn't see it. They didn't see it. And that's sad because there's so many beautiful places there. But you can cross and see where they put the money and where they didn't put it. You can see let me go back to Atlanta for a minute because I don't want nobody to think teaching history. I'm trying not to teach Atlanta. I focus on, today's focus was on Mississippi. But let me tell you something. Our MARTA station is full of blood, honey. Let me tell you something. Don't think for one moment Georgia should be on your mind. The cost of living here is more than the people can handle. They're putting oppression, don't care what color you are. First of all. And they are running us in the ground. They have went up, and then affordable housing. Gotta put some on my phone and take some else. Affordable housing. Now, he just signed a bill. If you need a dog and you need assistance, then you can't have one if I say I don't want a dog in my apartment. Shall we keep moving? Where the train station is, that's where we auction our slaves off. Let me tell you how dirty Atlanta is. Atlanta's so dirty. Last week, they stopped the bus from crossing over 285. Where they stopped the bus is where senior citizens' apartments are. So now seniors got to walk 30 minutes across that bridge to catch MARTA. Our active seniors got to walk 30 minutes. And I tell you, ain't dogging Mississippi out. Georgia coming. The antebellum South is horrible. But if you want to get a little glimpse of what they're doing to the Hispanics, and if you want to whisper a prayer, I want you to go read about Natchez Punch Bowl. The same order, except we call them Vanilla Ice Baby. It's the same thing. And the reason why, they told the truth. That document wasn't lost. according to what I read, a lawyer said, and the lawyer was talking about it, the reason why they did not sign to abolish slavery in 1862, because the government did not pay them for their slaves, which they considered was their cattle. It didn't have nothing to do with no lost document. Same thing was going on right now. It's a money bag. I sacrificed my page to get bare minimum people on here so that I can teach y'all, because I'm finna go cook over here on TikTok. But let me tell you something. If only you knew how smart those Hispanic children are. They some whippersnappers. On the tops. Them some smart little babies. My sister teaches. She teaches ESOL. She said they so smart. Okay, Jimmy, I got a gift that came into a big oversized package from Millicent. Let me tell you something. Those little Hispanic kids, baby, they your architects. They smart. They gifted. And they know it. They're your builders. And you don't believe me? Go read in the Bible. Please go read in the Bible. You're going to find out certain people, certain tribes had certain gifts. You're going to realize that. Certain tribes had certain gifts. I could be over there cooking right now, but I had to come talk to y'all first. Certain tribes had certain gifts. One thing about the Hispanics, you can get mad at them. It's hard to lay any brick like them. It's hard to build like them. They built Trump Towers. Who you think did my kitchen? A Mexican. Guatemalan. It's not to tear nobody down. But if they shutting down all our museums, how we going to defend or get stuck on stuff or don't want to hear nothing about where we from? It ain't going to benefit nobody to help you. If you like it, I love it. And if you want more of it, keep hanging around. Because that's where they're trying to take us. That's where they're trying to take us, baby. We ain't going, but they sure want us to. I had a lady ask me the other day, did you go to such and such wedding? I said, no, ma'am. Well, why you going to ask me why I didn't go? Why don't you ask, was I invited? All I'm trying to tell the people of Mississippi, pay attention and pray. Because y'all, people go through the same things we as black people went through. And sometimes we think they treating us better, but they really not. They just want to give us crumbs. But there's a constant reminder. The government got enough money to go and do a nice burial for all those people. But you know why? They don't want you to know about slavery. And they don't want you to teach on it and all that good stuff because they don't care. You know why people still support that man? Because you still got people, racists, that think that their race is better than anybody else's race. And I don't care who they watch on here. I don't care if y'all see them on their lives. Their heart ain't changed. Do you know why they quit watching me? Do anybody want to know why they ain't over here no more? I'll tell you why. Anybody want to know why they ain't over here no more? They're not over here no more. It's easy. They're not over here no more. Because I tell the truth. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And if it didn't hit home, and if they didn't feel like what I was saying was true, they'll come around. And it's so sad because some of them feel that way. They don't want to be that way. They can't even come on my page no more. They can't. I see them pass by my TikTok. I don't even speak no more. I don't say nothing. You done? Stay done. You welcome to watch from the outside because you ain't bold enough to come on the inside. I don't want to hear nothing about you was sick. This was going on in your family. Child, bye. You just now deciding to write. No, you're not. You're probably changing your mind about your vote. Well, that's one reason why they don't like us, because we are creation. We are those that was in not the moral place, not experimental, but it was experimental. You know, theologians are big on words, but it was an experimental place, right? And seeing that we were in that experimental place, they don't like to say that. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why sometimes I just leave it in the verbiage of a moral place. You got to put us in every color. And we are very forgiving. We very forgiving. We are so forgiving. You get some people from Mississippi, they get heated with you. They get mad. Just because you saying how wrong they've been done. They will get heated. I had one lady got extremely mad at me. She don't want to hear nothing. People dog Mississippi out. No, we're not. But you used to it. You can't even decipher the difference of somebody saying, look how they done our people, versus saying, everybody want to talk about Mississippi. Maybe we like the traffic. We don't want the traffic. We like this. We don't want the inflation. Baby, you're going to get it. Don't think a place which was the last place that abolished slavery, that they not going to come for you. Why would you think that? Why would you think it? Of course they coming for you. Of course they are. They want all the acreage, all the farms. They coming. They're not going to let y'all ride. Are you serious? Do you realize they know how much land is down there undeveloped? You can count it all joy. You ain't going to keep that land. It ain't going to be free. It ain't going to be free. Just like a lot of them ain't sorry for what history is teaching us and telling us. They're not sorry over it. A lot of them do not care what they're doing today. And there's nothing new under the sun. The Bible tells you that. I don't get caught up in organizations no more. I don't get caught up in none of that. You can go to whatever church you want to. The Baptists know just as much as the Pentecostals. It's for you to get a relationship with God. You got to quit believing that people will talk you out your wine. People will tell you that you ain't saved, but you didn't get on the cross. So how would you know it? I thought it was by faith and grace that we were saved. Because without it, if I'm a Muslim, I'm not going to believe I'm saved anyway. Because I'm not going to live under your law. You might have a point. You might have a point right there. This is only for Christians. And if you ain't a Christian, then your faith is different and it ain't going to apply. But I was just sent a video where a lady was at the Holy Convocation. She was at one of the convocations. I don't know, Women's Day. It had to be, because that's the one we have in May. And while she was there, her house burned up. All them people there. The presiding bishop gave her $2,000. But the people was mad because they didn't take up no money. But that's oppression, cooking with Dre. If don't nobody want growth, you're oppressed. We all gotta grow. You gotta eat thereof. The Bible told you that. We all gotta grow. If you look at a child still sucking their thumb and he didn't ever grow, you gonna say that child something wrong with that child. We are not under law anymore. We are gonna always be under the laws of the land, but we're under grace spiritually. There's different laws. The Bible will tell you to obey the laws of the land. You have to go read it. It don't mean that you are not going to have structure and order. You serve an orderly God. You're going to have order. But we're talking about when it comes to sinning. We're talking about when it comes to repentance. We're talking about when all have fallen short. Just like the young boy that I battled in Afghanistan told me, if he get caught being with a woman and not married, they will put him in prison or unalive him. That's the only two choices. Because it's against their God, and he can have up to 4 wives. He's got to provide for them all. He told me on TikTok. But if he get caught doing the do, now that's their law. See, we under grace. We do it, and you're going to pay with the consequences of having babies by somebody you don't want or love. You're going to deal with a baby mama that's going to get on your nerves all the rest of your life because you want to sleep with somebody for their body. Or you fell out of love with them. Either or. Okay, let me put this in here. It doesn't matter what organization you go to. The Word of God is what you study. You don't study the organization. They're going to have their own rules and regulations. That's the wrong teaching. That's man-made teaching. Read your Bible. Now, if that's what you're reading, because everybody don't read the Bible. Some people read the Holy Quran. But if you read the Bible, you're going to realize it's not no Kojic way system. I'm sorry. Kojic is an organization that ain't going to do nothing for you. I don't care what you say. You get mad at me, I grew up in it. You had all those people at their women's convention, and that lady lost her husband. And y'all gave her. That's why I don't do my laity report no more. Y'all gave that lady a slap on the wrist. And you could have took up offering. That lady lost her. They don't give back. That's one thing I can tell you about these organizations. They don't give back. You can be coaching all the days of your life. It don't matter. You can be apostolic. You can be any of these organizations. It's up to you. They don't give back. I know that much. I know that much. I know that much. You can get mad and quit watching. You'll be all right. Just don't need them. You'll never know until you need them. So don't need them. You won't have no problem with them if you don't need them. As soon as you start needing them, you're going to have a problem. Keeping it 100. God is God. He's everywhere. It's for you to form your relationship. These organizations will tell you one thing. This one's teaching something different than that one. By my God from Zion. You don't know who to believe. Why you trust God? Just like with Creflo Dollar messed that tithing thing up. He admitted to it. He messed it up. It don't matter what you are. Penal Baptist, Baptist Penal. It don't matter. I'm going to put a little more oil in here, but I don't use a lot of oil. I'm going to get them going. These are fried potatoes and onions. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all can believe all y'all want to. Get in the world of trouble. I'm going to tell you another thing about the Grand Old. They got some of the most raggedest churches you ever want to be a part of. They don't help them poor churches, the ones that be paying their little reports. They don't help them put no roof on. They got all that money. They don't help them folks put no roof on. Them churches be so run down, baby. You got to follow people back home on them convocations. They churches be struggling like all bricks. Be worried about paying the light bill. If they too busy paying an organization bill. I promise you, I've been in it all my life. I know. I've been in it. Can't tell me. I ain't lying. I know I ain't lying. Nope. Just control factors. Organizations control you. But you won't let God, because you don't talk to him. You're going to talk to your bishop. Whatever your bishop says. What did God tell you to do? I have the same pot. You got you one of these when they had them. They don't have them no more. I got a new one coming, but it ain't topped with. Go get in trouble and find out. Y'all will find out. I don't go back and forth with people. Because why would I fall out with you and get mad at you over some organizational stuff? They going to do what they going to do. And they do what they do. That's how I see it. I ain't going to lose no sleep and fall out with nobody. It's just organizational stuff. They take stuff, they take their teachings, what their minds process, and this is what they give to us. I mean, it's correct. You got to get in there for yourself. God might show you something. I remember people used to say, oh, they so wrong. Adam and Eve was the only people on earth. No, they were not. The Bible don't even say that. The Bible don't even say it. How is the onions? They ain't making me cry. Right now I got but I gotta get ready to go to TikTok, y'all. I can't talk about a lot of stuff over there on TikTok that I talk about over here. Y'all capiche? I just go over there and cook. And battle. And when I said what I said, I meant it. I'm tired of people trying to get over on Tracy. You be good to people and people get mad at you and have their whole, you be dealing with somebody whole completely psychotic. Guess you gotta stay on his page. I don't see y'all well. All the days I knew you, my life was good. When you leave, I pray my life still be good. You will be someone that I used to know. Same way with me. Half of us ain't coming to each other's funerals. Let's just enjoy each other right here and be done with it. Some of y'all wouldn't even let me come over y'all house. If I was in town right now, somebody say, oh, Tracy in town, y'all be like, ooh, shut my door. I don't want no company. Don't open that door. So y'all do stuff. Y'all know I ain't lying. Y'all know I'm telling the Lord honest. So I broke the camera back this past week on TikTok. I'm tired of that. You know, I gotta listen to my husband sometimes. He be telling me stuff. How people are. You know, he right. I just don't want to hear it. But I'm learning it. The hard way. You know how y'all do me? Y'all want to send me a star. I'm finna get off of him. Finna go where people do get bless me. Y'all, and then you'll sit around here. If I got sweets, all of a sudden you got the money for them sweets. Worry the brakes off of me for them sweets. Get mad over them sweets. Lose your mind over them sweets. Labor is worthy of their hire. I'm finna go get where I'm worthy at. Whoever show up, show up. Who don't, hey, sarah. Don't come over there if you can't handle it. It ain't for the squeamish now. And when I cook, when I get through, I battle. And my goal is, I don't even know what number I am. I'm getting so tired. Now I cut those up for later. I'm gonna start something else. Ooh, wee. Hold on, y'all. I gotta take some meds. All right, y'all. I'm so glad we had this time together. Just to have a laugh or sing a song. See, we just got started. And before you know it, Mama Norma, did you get your thing? Shut up, Jimette. I love Jimette. You know how good you've been down through the years to me. Sister, you know already. The mother Norma get hers. Y'all, I gotta get this other thing set up for TikTok. And I need to listen to some music because my body is hurting. So y'all gonna have to miss me. Shut up, Laura. When I came all the way to Houston, you hid. I don't want to hear that. You like my son, Philip. Don't nobody want to hear that. Don't bother about. Oh, he gonna say he gonna bring me the stuff tomorrow, Miss Laura Jones. Y'all say a prayer for my family. Say a prayer for my little cousin Cecilia. Y'all go before the Father. At 35 years old, she was a widow. The only child she ever had in her life by the man that made her a widow died. His name is Isaiah. How you didn't get it? I hope somebody didn't get it, Mama Norma. I put your apartment number and everything. You should have got yours before anybody. So, Mama Norma, I'm going to have to look up your tracker. But, baby, I tell you this much. I won't have as much to put in another one. Because I don't have that unless we get a truck this week. I hope your neighbors didn't take your stuff, your box, before you got out there. Because everybody else got theirs. Jemette live in Arkansas. So it's no way Jemette got hers and you didn't get yours. So I don't know, Mama Norma. You might have ended up this time getting shorted. But just say hallelujah anyhow. I did try. And because some of them boxes was $30-something. But you'll look on your box and see if I had to pay more than what you gave me. If you want to give it back to me, you can. If you don't worry about it. We ain't going to fall out. All right? Let me get on over here to TikTok because Eddie going to want to eat when he get home. And TikTok be not playing with me. Mama Norma, I'm sorry, but you should have had it by now, baby. I love y'all. See y'all later. I see y'all tomorrow. I'm gonna come on to my normal time. I'm gonna try to. Let me get out of Mississippi so I don't lose no more people. I'm gonna go to TikTok. I'm setting it up now. See y'all, honeybees.
People took botany.
Bye.